All right, folks, we're live. Let me pull up the YouTube page real quick. Special guest in the house tonight. We're going to have some fun, folks. Hope everybody can make it. Let's see. Let me pull this up real quick, make sure we're live on the air. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Okay. What's up, Nicholas? What's up, Walter? How you guys doing? Bobby, I'm going to send you this link real quick right here in the chat. You can pull this link up and, like I said, just mute it. So right here, just pull that link up and mute it and just watch on what you can watch it on YouTube. Actually, you might be able to watch it on here. I don't know where. And like I said, just mute it.
Mute. All right, you're muted.
Okay, good. So we should be good to go. What's up, fellas? Everybody doing good? As you guys can see, my special guest tonight is none other than the one and only Mr. Robert Ferringo of DocSports.com. I'm excited to have Robert on. This is a guy that's been in the handicapping industry a long, long time with a lot of success. Bobby, thanks a lot for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Hey, anytime. I just want to apologize for everyone that was hoping for Cardi B or somebody with a little bit more name recognition. You're going to have to settle for me. So sorry, guys.
That's right. So we're excited to have you, man. I mean, I'll tell you what, we've been doing some live chat lately, Bobby, on YouTube, and it's going really good, man. And I wanted to have you on because you're somebody I really respect in this industry. And you know, just tell the folks a little bit about yourself and how you got started in handicapping, etc.
Well, I've been with Doc since 2005, basically, and it happened as a fluke. Basically, I was a sports reporter in New York for a few years. Moved to Atlanta, got a job for a publishing company, and wanted to do some writing. So actually, the first time I had ever been on Craigslist in my life, I answered a Craigslist ad for Doc Sports. I had never heard of them, had no idea. So I started writing articles for about a year, built up a really good following, and when they decided to expand from just selling Doc's picks to bring on some more handicappers, they asked me if I'd be interested in doing it full time. And at first, I said no. At first, it was like, I don't feel comfortable with that fiduciary responsibility, basically. But then I thought about it for overnight, and I was like, you know, I'll never forgive myself if I never take the opportunity. So I started. I've done very well, and I've been one of the more successful handicappers on the site in my time here. So, you know, it's just one of those things that happened by accident, but it was the best kind of accident.
Absolutely, man. I know Doc Sports is happy, of course, to have had you for all these years. You're one of the stalwarts at Doc Sports and in the industry. So some of the guys in the chat may have some questions as we move forward. I'll start with this, Bobby. What is your favorite sport? Forget handicapping for a second. What's your favorite sport?
College basketball and the NFL. Those have always been my favorite sports since I was younger. Basketball was always kind of my sport that I played growing up, and I've just always loved the NFL, basically. So those are, as a fan, those have always been my two favorite sports. But it's amazing, and you can speak to this as well, how much your fandom has changed as you've been a professional handicapper. It's almost like I'm not a fan anymore of anything other than what team I have my money on any given night. But growing up, it was always college basketball and NFL.
Yeah, fair enough. I tell you what, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. And I tell the guys all the time and the ladies in the chat room, and they don't believe me. Like, I'm not a fan of anything right now, of anybody, just sports in general. I love it all, but not a fan of a particular team. Certainly, I have some coaches and some players I like, but I'm all about who can put the money in my pocket that night. So having said that, let's talk from a handicapping position. What do you like handicapping the best, or better yet, what have you had your most success in when it comes to handicapping?
Definitely college basketball. That's this last season aside. I'm not too proud to admit that I was a debacle this past season. But college basketball, I've always felt, is the best sport to make money in, and it's the best sport that I personally have made money in, both for my clients as a handicapper and myself betting. And the reasons are simple and really twofold. The first is the time of the year when college basketball starts, all right? November, December, non-conference college basketball. That's really a treasure trove for guys that really do their research and are as into it as I am, that can hit the ground running to start the season with some winners, because at that time, college football is heating up. NFL is getting serious. NBA and NHL have just started, and as you know, when any season starts, that's when you're going to get a lot more action in it. So college basketball is very much pushed by the wayside. And for the sports books, it's the same thing. Since they're not taking as much betting action on college basketball as they are in football on the weekends, that's where they're putting all their focus and their attention. So you can kind of stay under the radar there with college basketball in the first 2 months of the season. And then the second thing is it says it right on my site. Gambling isn't magic. I'm not a fortune teller with what I do. I have people ask me all the time. They're like, oh, who's going to win the Super Bowl or who's going to win the NBA Finals? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. It's not how this works. But gambling isn't magic. It's all mathematics. And the number of variables on a college basketball team where you have 5 starters, 3 bench players, and a coach they have to worry about compared to a sport like college football where you have 11 offense, 11 defense, all your specialists, coaches. You know, on any given college football team, you got 45 guys, any one of whom can screw up your bet. Times 2 for both teams. So you got 90 guys got a handicap in a college football game versus about 15 or 16 in a college basketball game. It's just a lot more static in terms of performance.
Absolutely. And I think you make a great point there with the books early in the college basketball season. They're not as sharp because, as you said, their focus maybe isn't on the college basketball season early in the year. And you've done extremely well non-conference play in college basketball and college basketball in general. When it comes to college sports or pro sports, do you like college football better than pro football when it comes to handicapping? I know you like the college basketball game, but what about football?
No, definitely not. Definitely more of an NFL guy for the same reason. Number one, well, for several reasons. Number one, I have a little bit more innate feel for it because I've been an NFL fan for longer. I've just been following it more. I have a better understanding of it. Growing up in the Northeast, I'm originally from New York. College football wasn't a big deal up there. It's certainly not like it is in the South, which interestingly enough, it's kind of the reverse for college basketball. In the South, nobody cares about college basketball. In the Northeast, they love college basketball. So I don't have that kind of innate feel for college football like I do with some of the other sports that I've been following since my childhood. I've gotten better at it as time goes by. One of the main things that I do with college football is that I've become very much a macro handicapper. I handicap teams and situations rather than individual players, where you can do that a little bit more. Sports like baseball, sports like college basketball, you can lock in on some guys. Injuries play a little bit more of a factor in my handicapping in those sports. Where with college football, you know, I couldn't even tell you half the starters on the SEC teams this year, but I did very well betting the SEC teams because you look at it from that broader perspective, that very macro perspective where you're just reading numbers, you're reading line movements, you're looking at trends, you're looking at betting percentages. I go much more by the fundamentals when it comes to college football because I just don't have the feel for it that someone like you do that has followed it your entire life, that coached it, that's very involved with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, and I was talking to the guys in the chat room about that the other day, Bobby. You know, northern cities, northern states and cities in general, it's pro sports. You come down south, man, we're about high school football. I mean, we'll rub some high school football in your face in a heartbeat. And college football, you know, and like you said, college basketball is not huge down here, but up north, they love college hoops. But pro sports dominates. That's what I like about Doc Sports, man. We have guys from different backgrounds that bring different things to the table. And I think that really helps us as a handicapping service as well. What are you doing well in right now? I know you've started off baseball season really good. You've had some other good seasons, NHL. What are you doing well in right now, Bobby?
Right now, baseball. The last week, yesterday, I got smoked. I'm not too proud to say. But I've gotten off to a really good baseball start because I had a disappointing college basketball season, especially by my standards. I really dove into my research early with baseball. You know how that goes. You have a losing season in, say, football. You want to get it back in another sport. So you throw yourself into something. So that's kind of what I did with baseball. I watched a lot more preseason baseball than I ever have really in my life. So I was really ready to hit the ground running and got off to a really good start. I was up, I think, plus 5,500 the first 3 weeks, cooled off a little bit since. But you know, baseball, it's a slog, man. It's an 8-month marathon, basically. So 1 or 2 good months isn't going to determine your season. And what I'm falling victim to, I found out, is one of the things that people who are betting baseball right now have to be really careful about, and that's the regression. That's a statistical regression. You and I were talking before we came on about the Braves and the Reds, all right? The Reds were 3-17 coming into the series, all right? They're the worst team in baseball by far. Well, they're going to win some games, okay? They're not going to win 30 games on the year. By the time it's all said and done, they're going to be up around 55, 60, 65 wins in that region. What that means is they're going to cash a lot of tickets as an underdog. Kansas City is another team. They're 5-15 right now. You know what that tells me? Hey, we've been able to cash going against them for the first month, but they're going to start to win some games as the numbers shift against them. So you got to be really careful about blindly betting on these teams that have just gotten off to atrocious starts. The Padres, the Orioles are another one that are just a train wreck. Yeah. The White Sox, because any one of these teams, every Major League Baseball team rips off 8-10 at some point during the season. And if you're not careful, they can turn your lights out. They can take away half your bankroll in one bad week or in 2 or 3 series. Absolutely. Another thing I wanted to point out about Robert Ferringo, guys, is he's a volume better, whereas I'm much more selective in my plays. Bobby, tell the folks out there how you handicap and how many games you release, et cetera, because a lot of these guys in my chat, man, they really like volume, and they may not necessarily be getting it from me, but tell the guys how you do it and why you do it that way, et cetera. Okay, so I've basically, again, it all comes down to the math. It all comes down to the numbers. And I actually have an article that I can send you the link that you can post after the fact to people that really in detail explains the mathematics of why I am a volume handicapper. But it basically boils down to this. You can bet less money per game, hit a lower percentage, and make more profit in the long term by betting more games versus fewer games. Guys that bet, say, in a football weekend, for an example, I may bet 25 football games in a weekend versus some other guys who bet 5. For me, it's not about percentages. I'm not a big fan of anyone who, hey, advertise your percentages. That's great. That's fine. But that's not even close to the whole story. For me, it's all about profit. It's all about how much did you start with at the beginning of the season and how much did you end with at the end of the season. I don't care what your winning percentage was or anything like that. For me, it's all about the numbers, and that's what it comes down to, is that you can actually minimize your exposure by spreading your money out over more options, basically. I'm not a big fan of putting all my eggs in one basket when it comes to one team. And again, to talk about a sport like college basketball, all right? If you release 1 play per day for the entire season, then you're somewhere around 120 or 130 games. You're missing out on a lot of opportunities there. There are more than 120 really good high-value situations in a college basketball season or in a football season or in a baseball season, okay? So I feel like some people pigeonhole themselves in this, I'm just going to release 1 play a day. I'm just going to do 1 game per sport. And by doing that, I feel like some people turn off the blinders to some other really high-value situations. Absolutely. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I've thought about it from that perspective as well. Bobby Fringo is a volume handicapper. It works for him. He does a fantastic job with it. Instead of releasing a 4-unit play like I did tonight in Major League Baseball and the NBA, he may have 7 1-unit plays and a 3-unit plays. Is that fairly accurate, Bobby? Something like that? Yep, absolutely. Okay. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. He's not betting as much on 1 game as I am. I have 4-unit play. In baseball tonight, just for an example, if it was a full card, he may have 7 1-unit plays and then have 1 step out at 3 units or 1 step out at 2 units. So that's his perspective and the way he does things. And I find it very, very intriguing. And it's good stuff, man. I always like to think of the handicappers. Like, we have 12 handicappers on the site now. And to make a tortured analogy here, I like to think that we're all samurai. Like, we each have our different weapon of choice. We each have our different fighting style, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. It's just a matter of what the clients are comfortable with, which, like you touched on, is what makes Doc Sports so awesome, is that we have something for everybody. Those guys that like just 1 play a day, minimal exposure, they just want to bet it and forget it. they can go with it. The guys that like a little bit more action, they have guys like myself or Alan Harris that can get into it. One's not right or wrong. I don't think, for me, the math justifies doing it this way. And another one, I know that this is a constant back and forth in betting circles, is about flat betting versus scaled betting. Some guys insist that flat betting, you bet the same amount on every game, no matter what, and they swear by it. Okay, I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, because not all bets should be equal, just like not all situations are equal. But there are people, for me, the number one thing, and to anybody out there that's listening, the number one takeaway is, if it works for you, stick with it. It doesn't have to be the best style. If you're making money betting a lot of games, betting one game, flat betting or not, if you're making money that way, stick with it. Never change something that's working thinking, oh, well, maybe this could work better.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Another thing I've been talking to the guys about on my live videos, Bobby, is handicapping fundamentals. And one thing I've been talking to them about is, obviously, we keep daily spreadsheets. And I've told the guys and ladies that I believe they should all keep a daily spreadsheet. Obviously, their bottom line, their bankroll is going to tell them how they've done. But I believe they should all keep daily spreadsheets and actually handicap their handicapping at the end of every day. Review. Here's why I like the game. Did it play out that way? Yes or no? Where did I go wrong? Et cetera, et cetera. What are your thoughts on some handicapping fundamentals?
That's some of the best advice that I've heard. You absolutely are 100% right. You need to constantly be self-reflecting and seeing what's working, what's not. And then not only did a bet win or lose, but how did it win or lose? Okay, some of the best bets I've ever made didn't win, but it wasn't because it was the wrong play. Just a bad beat. That stuff's going to happen. Then there are other bets that I've made that were actually really terrible bets that I got lucky on. All right. And as you're self-reflecting in how you're handicapping games, the angles, the approaches, the numbers, the statistics that you're using, you'll find patterns that emerge. You'll have a little bit of validation with some of your handicapping styles. And then a perfect example is some teams you just don't have a feel for. Some teams you just don't want to bet. I'll never forget that Doc Mosman, the progenitor of Doc Sports, one of the teams he would always avoid was Air Force. He was like, I can't bet Air Force. I never bet Air Force. I never get Air Force games right. Just something about the triple option doesn't sit well with me. Well, I'm sure that took years and plenty of big play losses for him to finally get to the point where he was like, all right, I'm done. I'm just not going to bet on Air Force anymore. And yeah, it's something that all handicappers, all bettors need to do. They need to self-reflect, see where they're winning, where they're losing, focus more your bankroll into what's working and what's not. And like I said, understand sometimes a good bet doesn't win, sometimes a bad bet does, and be able to tell the difference.
Absolutely. And that's why I think that self-reflection comes in, because like you said, even if you win, sometimes you were on the wrong side and you got a backdoor cover or what have you. So I think that's very important. I also wanted to tell everybody out there right now, Robert Fringo, one of the top handicappers in the world, has been for a very long time now. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to offer each and every one of you that are in this live chat right now 25% off any Robert Ferringo package. All you have to do is email or call Doc Sports. I'll type in the email right now, service@docsports.com. All right, email them, Wade or Guy, either one. Tell them you want 25% off of whichever package. You can do more than one package if you like. Whatever you want to do, I strongly and highly recommend you follow Bobby Ferringo, especially if you are a volume gambler. If you like volume plays, this is your guy. He's as strong as it gets in this business when it comes to volume handicapping. His track record speaks for itself. So 25% off, I think that's fair. Bobby, you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm 100% cool with that. And actually, I'll give you a little bit of advice. I really like the baseball card this week. Okay, if you're looking for NBA picks, I'm cooling off on the ends of some of these series, but I really like the second round matchup. So if you want NBA picks and you want to take advantage of that 25% off, we'll honor that for the next week, let's say. So maybe wait if you want some NBA picks till next week when the second round series begins, rather than buying on and getting some smaller plays this weekend. So I would either go baseball or wait till next week and go with the NBA.
Absolutely. Okay, fair enough. That's good stuff, man. Hey, I want to ask you, man, just off topic for a second. What are you looking forward to in this NFL draft? I mean, this is a really compelling draft. Is there anything What did the Browns do? I mean, what are you looking forward to in the draft?
It's funny that you mentioned that because I actually just wrote an article about the Browns and how they are the most intriguing team they've been the most intriguing team in the NFL this offseason. And you never say that about the Browns. But they're about to make a classic historical blunder, all right? In my opinion, they should take Saquon Barkley number one, and it shouldn't even be up for debate. Saquon Barkley is Adrian Peterson. And if you have a chance to – I know they got Carlos Hyde. I don't care. You got a chance to get Adrian Peterson, you take him. Then with their second pick, they should either go with an offensive lineman. All right, Joe Thomas just retired, but you go with either that big guard from Notre Dame or the big tackle from Notre Dame. Or if you want to change it up, maybe take a Roquan Smith, a guy as a Georgia fan I know that you're very familiar with. Right. You get it. You don't waste your time on a quarterback. The bust rate for offensive linemen taken in the top 10 compared to quarterbacks taken in the top 10, it's not even close. The Browns have a good quarterback. Tyrod Taylor is a good quarterback. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback. He doesn't turn the ball over. He makes plays. He dragged the Buffalo Bills, who are as big a losers as you're going to find in the NFL. He dragged them to the playoffs, all right? They're fine. They have a quarterback. Why waste the number one overall pick when there's not a guy worthy of the number one overall pick? There's not Andrew Luck. There's not a Peyton Manning out there. There is no consensus number one guy. Even Cam Newton, when they were like, okay, yeah, you got a chance to take this guy, you take this guy. There's not that guy this year. Every one of the quarterbacks has red flags. So I think the Browns are going to make a colossal mistake here. And that's just it's going to be interesting to see the dominoes fall as a result of that.
You see the report today that somebody, I think it was ESPN, reported that the Browns are considering Baker Mayfield as the number one overall pick. Did you see that?
Unbelievable. Never underestimate the predictability of stupidity, okay? Stupid people are just going to do stupid things, and you're going to see the Browns walk right into that wall. Now, at this late stage of the game, too, you always have to wonder when you hear something like that, if they're trying to bait for a trade maybe. Trading down would be the worst thing for them, too. So you got to ignore all the rumors that are coming out this week. But the bottom line is they shouldn't take a quarterback. They have two picks at the top of the first round, 2 picks at the top of the second round, too. They're getting 4 of the top 35 guys, all right? You load up in the trenches. You grab Barkley and then load up in the trenches on both sides of the ball. You're ready to compete. You are, with the team they have, you are ready to compete. But if you pigeonhole yourself with a quarterback and you put yourself in a situation where you're not worried about winning now and you're still planning for some future that may never come, you're wasting an opportunity. They have a golden opportunity and they're going to waste it.
That's fair. Give me one NBA team to keep my eye on. Give me one NBA team, and New Orleans would be an obvious choice, but can they beat Golden State? Give me one NBA team I really need to keep an eye on the rest of these playoffs, Bobby.
Okay, you need to keep your eye on Houston, but not for the reasons that you think. Houston's not going to win the West. They're not going to win the West. All right. Chris Paul is a proven playoff loser. James Harden, love the guy. Love his game. He's clearly the MVP this year. Love everything that he's going to do or that he's been doing. He has not proven himself as a clutch playoff performance. There's just something about guys that can turn it on in the postseason versus guys that shrink a little bit. And Chris Paul and James Harden are 2 guys that have proven track records of not getting it done in the postseason. And also, you cannot be – I understand that everyone loves the three-pointer now in the NBA. That's a big thing. Got to shoot threes, got to shoot threes. The Golden State Warriors are an anomaly. They're a mathematical, statistical anomaly. What wins in the NBA, particularly as you get deeper in the NBA, is the same thing that wins in every sport when you get deeper into it. The bigger, more physical, more athletic team is going to win more than they are going to lose. Houston has lived and died with the 3 all season long. It is going to come back and bite them. So they'll probably put Minnesota away tomorrow. I think if they lose that game outright, that's another red flag that backs up what I'm talking about. But they are not going to win the West. So Houston is a team that if you've been buying stock on them all year long, I think it's time to sell.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll tell you what. I've been buying stock on them all year long during the regular season.
They've been amazing.
Yeah, they've been unbelievable. He's the best offensive player in the league. He really is. I mean, I don't think you would argue against that. I think you'd agree. And then I see that game 3 in Minnesota, and I see that same deer in the headlights look out of him. And I know teams are going to lose games. I get it. But it's the body language and the mannerisms and everything in Game 3 that really bothered me, man. So I'm a little bit concerned about him. I really am.
And Chris Paul is another one of the guys. People talk about him being one of the best point guards of the generation. Okay, sure, I'll give you that. Regular season, but how many times did they have opportunities with those stacked Clippers teams where they couldn't even get out of the second round, or they're losing in the first round? What do you make? One? Did they make one finals the entire time that he was there? He is not a proven commodity in the postseason. He is not a guy I trust to take and make big shots. And it's going to come back and bite them, especially if Steph Curry comes back and is even close to 100%. I think Golden State will railroad them in that series if they're at full strength. I don't even think it'll be close.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Give me one Major League Baseball team to keep an eye on moving forward. Doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that started off strong. You can keep an eye on them for maybe being bad, or keep an eye on them for being good. Somebody that maybe you might hang your hat on in the next few weeks. Give me a baseball team that you really like, Bobby.
Okay. Well, two teams that I was buying that I released my top 2 futures plays on at the beginning of the year that are starting to show why and starting to prove it are Philadelphia and Oakland. All right. Okay. Oakland's lineup is set up to destroy left-handed pitching. So if you get good value on Oakland against some mediocre left-hander, that's going to be a moneymaker all season long, I feel like. All right. So keep riding Oakland and Philadelphia. Going back to what I was talking about before, be careful with those teams like the Orioles, the Royals, and the Reds. They're going to accidentally start winning some games. All right. So you may want to be careful betting big against those really bad teams over the next few weeks. A team that is going to hit a wall is San Diego. If you look at some of San Diego's metrics, their batting average on ball and play, their batting average with runners in scoring position. I could be wrong about this, but I don't think I'm off by much. I think the San Diego Padres are hitting like 340 with runners in scoring position and 2 outs through the first month of the season. It's something ridiculous and not viable over the course of a season. So San Diego is a not very good team that's kind of outplaying their talent level right now also. Let me see what else. The Brewers. Oh, the Brewers are another team. Okay. The Brewers are 14-9 right now. They're a team that I wasn't as high on coming into the season because they had a lot of hype behind the Yelich and Kane moves. But they're 14-9 and they have been beat up. All right. When they're fully healthy like they are right now, you look at their 1 through 6. All right. You got guys like Travis Shaw. You got a guy like Timms that can change a game with one swing. Ryan Braun isn't hitting yet, but he will. And then throw in Kane and Yelich, 2 kind of proven commodities. They have a lineup that not a lot of teams in the National League can really compete with. The guy who's pitching tomorrow, Anderson, is kind of an undervalued, underrated ace right now. So as the Cubs have underachieved to this point, I think the Cardinals have overachieved a little bit. They're sucking up a lot of the oxygen that should be going towards the Brewers, who I think are about to make a move over the next few weeks.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Obviously the draft is taking place this week. So this may be a little bit of a stumper, but just coming out of last season, I know you, and I'll let you get out here after this, Bobby, but I know you probably
do this all night, man. I do this.
Yeah, I love it too. A team that you watched at the end of the NFL season, and I know you take notes just like I do, and you're thinking, you know what? I'm gonna keep my eye on that team early next year, or I may place a futures play on that team next year. An NFL team that you think is trending in the right direction right now could come out of nowhere like the LA Rams.
Okay, great question, but I'm actually gonna flip it around on you. Okay. My short answer will be let's say Detroit. I'm just gonna throw Detroit out there, but normally what I do in the offseason is I try and go the opposite way. I try and find teams that way overachieved or way overperformed that I'm looking to bet against. And I got 3 of them right off the bat that I'm like kind of giddy to bet against next year. One of them is Jacksonville. Jacksonville's terrible. Blake Bortles is awful. What they did defensively, they reminded me a little bit of the Giants that we saw 2 years ago. All right, the Giants defense dominated, got them to the playoffs. Going into last season, I said, you look at their yards per point, you look at the number of snaps that their starters play, they're not going to do that. Some guys on that defense are going to get hurt. They're going to fall apart, and the offense isn't good enough to carry them. Jacksonville's terrible, and they're going to be terrible again next year. The Buffalo Bills. I know everybody's giggly about the fact that they finally made the playoffs this century. Awesome. Good for you. The Buffalo Bills are going to be pathetic last year. Getting rid of Tyrod Taylor was a major, major mistake. They lost 3 of their 5 starters on the offensive line. I still don't like their receiving core, and they're reshaping their defense. Okay, they maintain a lot of the 3-4 personnel that they had when their new coach came in last year from Carolina, but they are now going to be shifting to the cover 2. And the cover 2 has become kind of a dinosaur in the NFL. It doesn't work against the short passing attacks, all right? So Buffalo is going to be like a 4-win team next year. And Seattle is another team that I'm going to be looking to bet against. Seattle, their window is closed. They're very much on the downside of what I don't know if we can call it a dynasty or not. They had a lot of great years. They won some Super Bowls. But all that's over, okay? The Rams have clearly established themselves. San Francisco is trending in the right direction. Arizona, I don't know. They're not awful. They're not going to fall off the cliff, but that's going to be interesting. But Seattle, Jacksonville, and Buffalo are 3 teams that I hope they do well. I hope everyone gives them all A+ for their draft tomorrow because that'll just build up the hype going into next season. Those are 3 teams that you blindly bet against them next year. You're going to make a lot of money.
Well, one in particular that you mentioned is Jacksonville, which I find extremely intriguing because look at the teams they played in their division. No Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson goes out. And I think Tennessee beat them twice, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I think Tennessee beat them twice. So, yeah, I agree. I think the Jaguars.
But it was the same thing during the Andrew Luck years. I was always selling the Colts. Yeah. By virtue of the fact that, look, they play in the AFC South, man. That division is a joke. Those teams are terrible. Whoever wins that division, you have to instantly dispel and assume that they're going to be overvalued the following season because people underestimate how bad that division actually is. So
I agree 100%. I just that's why I like the Titans the last 2 years. I played them as my future play over the win total last 2 seasons.
Balls. Yep.
Yeah, and we cashed, but I don't think Mariota is not half the quarterback I thought he was going to be this year, man. And I really thought the head coach was holding the Titans back. And I know that there was talk they were going to keep him when they made the playoffs, but then they got rid of him anyway, which I think was a big move for Tennessee because I think they have the personnel to be a really good football team, but Mariota's got to step it up. He's got to get better coaching. He's got to make better decisions. But I think Tennessee could be a sleeper again this year. I really do.
I agree. I have agreed with you the last 2 years on Tennessee. I think 2 years ago, I think they were my biggest futures bet as well. Yeah. But I disagree with you on them getting rid of their coach. The thing that I've liked about Tennessee the last 2 years is that, and to a certain extent, it's what worked for Jacksonville this year. They have gone back to fundamental football, okay? Remember their whole thing was exotic smash mouth, all right? That's what wins in the NFL, okay? Be physical, be violent. It is a violent sport. The team that is more physical, that is more violent is going to win. Run the ball and play good defense. That's all you got to do, okay? Maybe you can't win a Super Bowl like that, but not everybody can be the Patriots. Not everybody can win the Super Bowl every year. Sometimes being good is good enough, especially if you're a franchise like the Titans who haven't had a lot of great years. The fact that they went back to the basics with their philosophy, saying, hey, we're going to pound the ball. We're going to take the pressure off our quarterback, take the pressure off our defense a little bit, win low-scoring games by not making mistakes. I love that. I absolutely love that. That's what Jacksonville did. That's what a team like Buffalo did. 2 years ago when the Cowboys went 13-3, that's why, because they were running the football. Like, it's not – and you look at the Eagles this year. Yes, they put up a lot of big numbers offensively. Carson Wentz played well. They got their passing game going. But the foundation, the fundamental of that team was their offensive line was one of the top 5 in football, and their defensive line was one of the top 3 in football. That's how you win. You win by having a good, well-rounded team that runs the ball, plays great defense, hits and hurts people, and doesn't turn the ball over. It's a simple formula to be good in the NFL. And what I worry about is a team like the Titans are going to go the other way from that and try and start slinging it around and be something they're not, and we'll see that fall apart.
Yeah, we'll see. That'll be interesting to see. And you mentioned Philadelphia. They were so good along the – I mean, they lose Peters, their best – well, I don't know. That center's good too. Kelsey's a stud. But they lose Peters, their left tackle, and still win the Super Bowl. That's how deep they were along both lines of scrimmage. Fletcher Cox just an absolute monster. So, yeah, they really built that team. Okay, I don't know if you have an opinion on this, but the folks in the chat are asking for it, Bobby. So I'll ask you, do you have any opinions on the late games tonight? Miami at the Dodgers. You got Peters versus Maeda, and then Rourke versus Block, Washington at San Francisco. Do you have any opinions on either one of those games?
Unfortunately, for everyone that's listening, no, I actually don't. I'm sorry. I'd love to throw out a free pick or throw out something, but going back to what I was saying before, my crystal, I don't have my crystal ball here. I handicapped those games earlier this morning. I threw them out. I did consider the Dodgers on the run line because Dylan Peters is not a major league caliber pitcher. He's proven that he is not a major league caliber pitcher. And I'm of the opinion that no bet against Miami is a bad bet. But the Dodgers right now are not hitting left-handed pitching the way that they were last year. So they're not scoring a lot of runs. And I have to wonder how motivated they're going to be after a big series last weekend. And they have San Francisco coming up this weekend. So they won game 1 yesterday. If they had lost against Miami yesterday, I'd be all over the Dodgers. But I'm wondering what their motivation level is going to be the next 2 days. Those numbers are kind of ridiculous. I bet at -1.5, they're probably still -135. So for me, that would just be a stay away. If the total in the Washington-San Francisco game comes down a little bit, if you can get that at 7.5, that might be worth looking at the over. Washington is a team that, again, you look at what they're doing against left-handed pitching. I think they're hitting like 188 or something stupid like that. With all the right-handed bats they have, that's going to turn around at some point, and I don't love Ty Blatch. If I recall, the ump behind the plate has a pretty tight zone, and they played a low-scoring game yesterday. So if I gun to my head, maybe the over in that Washington-San Francisco game if you can get it at 7.5. But like I said, there's a reason I didn't release any of those plays to my clients today. So I looked at them and didn't like them. So.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Hey, you guys have heard from Bobby Ferringo tonight. One of the best in the business. The guy does just an outstanding job. I know I sound like a dumb redneck. I get it. But I actually have a fairly high IQ, and I can spot smart folks when I see them and meet them. And Bobby Fringo is an extremely smart fella. I like him a lot. Bobby, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, man. I think the guys and gals in the chat room have gained a lot of knowledge. Hopefully we can do it again, man. Maybe we'll do this like once a month or something if you're up for it, and have a good time with it.
Well, the feeling's mutual. I got nothing but respect for you. Don't listen, everybody out there in that chat room, don't let him play the shy Southern gentleman. He is as cagey as they come. Mike Davis knows exactly what he's doing out here with his handicapping. Listen to what the man says. He's been doing it a long time. So that's my takeaway for all of you. And number 2, anytime I can do this. You know me. You're the same way I am. This is our life. This is our chosen profession. I could do this all day. I can talk about sports. I love talking about betting. I love talking about the numbers, the nuts and bolts of betting percentages and things like that. I really enjoy it. So if I can be of any help to you, any of your subscribers, don't hesitate to ask.
Sounds great, man. Thanks a lot, buddy. I really appreciate it, man. I can't wait to see you. Hopefully I'll see you before then, but I'll certainly see you in Philadelphia in July, man. And thanks again for chiming in. And all of the chat room says thanks as well, man. And I'll see you soon.
Yep. Take it easy. Good luck to everybody.
See you, Bobby. Enjoyed it, man. All right, so Bobby's going to hang up the call there, and it'll be just me for right now, guys. I really appreciate Bobby Ferringo coming in, man. The guy's a volume handicapper. He's one of the best in the business, probably the best volume handicapper in the business, bar none. I like the guy a lot, and he's at Doc Sports right now. He's at Doc Sports. Anybody I have on here will be at Doc Sports, man. I won't have handicappers from other places on here ever. He's a hell of a guy, man. He's a smart guy, man. Let me tell you folks something. I know smart when I see smart. The guy's highly intelligent. He writes like a damn – it's unbelievable. I mean, the guy's intelligent. I like him a lot, and he does a great job. So you guys can take advantage of 25% off any of his packages. You email Wade or Doc, service@Doc Sports. You can do it for mine or his packages, either one. Tell him you saw Bobby Ferringo on this live chat, and you want 25% off, whichever one you want, okay, guys? That's all you got to do, man. So who do I like more? I see a rock. I like them both, man. I like them both. If I have a guy on my video, keep in mind, this is mine. This is mine. This is my house. If I have a guy on here, I like him. Nobody's asked me to do it. I've asked them to do it. So that's the way it is, man. If I have somebody on here, I really like them, man. You're his client, Rosa? Okay, good. Good, man. Yeah, he does a good job, Knopfsinger. He is so busy writing articles and et cetera. I guess that's why he doesn't do daily videos. He does a great job, man. intellectual, man, high IQ guy, very cerebral. You know, I was going to say that, but I mean, that's the truth. Robert or you, either one of us, Walter, either one of us. Wade told me I could do 25% off tonight for Robert and myself. All you got to do is email them. All you got to do is email them. Service, let me put that in there for y'all. Service at docsports.com. Yeah. Email them, tell them you want 25% off. You saw Robert Ferringo on my video. You can ask for his package or my package. Any of the packages. So he's sharp, man. He's sharp. I like him a lot. We like Mike Davis. I like Mike Davis too right now. Love what he said about the bad teams in Major League. Yeah, that's right. That's going to start evening itself out, Alex. That's a great point he made. He's going to say, do it the way you want, Mike. Armand, we always going to do it the way we want on our channel, right? So if I have a guy on here, man, I like him. I'm not going to have somebody on here I don't like or respect or think is smart. I would never put somebody like that in front of you guys. I'm going to put the creme de la creme in front of you guys every time. Cool dude, but I see as a living legend. But then again, I don't know Fringo besides seeing him for the first. Fringo's a living legend too, baby. Yeah, Fringo's a living legend. John, you can trust me. I wouldn't lie to you. I don't have it. I don't get any piece of Fringo's pie. So I don't have to blow sunshine up your ass. I'll tell you like it is. Fringo's the real deal, baby. You can trust me on that. I buy Bobby's college basketball season patches. Not uncommon for him to have 40 to 50 units in one day. High volume. And he told everybody he didn't have a good college basketball season this year. But normally, watch out. College basketball, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're welcome, Logic. Mike Davis, another living legend in these betting streets. Hey, we do the best we can, man. We do the best we can. 34 people watching, 17 likes. Yeah, give us some likes, guys. Mike, great call on Toronto Maple Leafs. I didn't have them, Kyle. Vernon Croy had them. I had Boston, so it was a bad call for me. I still like to play. I don't know if you were here earlier when Bobby and I were talking. Sometimes you can handicap a game right and lose it. I feel like I had the right side in that game, but I lost. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you had the right side or not. It matters if you won or lost. I lost. So, yeah, he's a great guest right now. I agree. Mike, you're releasing a hockey pick tomorrow night. We took a tough loss last night. Yeah, I plan to, Nicholas. I feel he was wrong about them Rockets. You think so, Bankroll? We'll see. Thank you, Rosa. What do you think about him saying the Warriors beating down the Rockets if they play? I would not have agreed with him on that had I not seen game 3 of the Timberwolves. And it's not that they lost. It's the look on their faces, man. And I got to be honest, guys. And I'm just being honest with you. I've told my friends, I've told anybody that'll listen, Carmelo Anthony will never be on a team that wins an NBA title, and neither will Chris Paul. Now, I changed my tune a little bit this year because I like the rotation. What have I talked to you guys about in NBA? Rotation, rotation, rotation. I love the rotation of the Rockets, but seeing that game 3 worries me. Mike, Giannis killing us, brother. Can't win them all, man. One unit play. I hope he scores 30 in the 4th quarter. Get Indian Cowboy on. I've had him on, Karen. He and I did a video last week. I was actually on his channel, I think. I see he's a good fella, too. I made $5,000 from 100 bets from Rob. Good stuff, Rosa. Bucks coming back. There you go right now. Anderson seemed better than Rass so far. Yeah. We'll see. This Boston game is killing me. Bucks making big comeback. Come on. Let's go, Bucks. I don't have the game tonight, but I have them for the series. Warriors. Sorry, I thought you guys were on the same side last night. Nah, we were on different sides, Kyle. We were on different sides, and I respect Vernon Croy a great deal. I didn't want to be on the opposite side of him, but I still like my pick. I'm not mad at it. I analyzed it even after I lost, and I still liked it. Just lost. What's up, Mike? Tyler here from LA, just checking in, big dog. What's up, Tyler? You just getting here, man? Man, you missed Robert Ferringo earlier, man. I wish you could have seen him, dude. But this video will be archived, so you can go back and watch it, Tyler. He had a lot of knowledgeable stuff to say, man. Make sure you check him out, okay? Nope, you're right about Anthony. Yeah, but I hope I'm wrong about Paul because I would like to see James Harden win a title. I like the guy. And I didn't like him coming into this season because of how I ain't going to use that word. I ain't going to use that word. What word am I looking for? How he punked out last year in the playoffs. Okay? Man, that was a punk move last year. I felt like he turned over a new leaf this year. We'll see. I like the guy. He's the MVP. We'll see. Mike, you have a lean on the Rockies. I think John Dorsey, James Brown's GM, was a past. Whoa, this thing's moving too fast. Let me scroll up, guys. I think John Dorsey was surprised with number one pick. He's a great willer and dealer. Okay, we'll see. Mike, you have a lean on this Rockies game. Leaning Rockies money line, but saying a little too much juice. Let me look at it real quick. Let's see. Where is it? I don't see it on the board. Oh, San Diego and Colorado. It just went off, didn't it? Or is it delayed? I don't have a lean on it. I don't. Nope, not at all, bud. Sorry, man. If I did, I'd tell you, bro. Let me see if I can get the chat back up. Okay, let's see. What else we got? What I missed that. What'd you miss, Armand? Is the media who says all this stuff about the number one pick. Yeah, we'll see. Bet size appropriate. Okay, 34 watching, 17 likes. Let's go, community. Yeah, get the video a thumbs up, guys. Get the video a thumbs up. I'll check it out. You welcome, Tyler. Good stuff. Giannis hadn't scored in a second. Chris, we may lose that bet. Be positive, man. Be positive. Mike doesn't bet against the Rockies. I do not bet against the Rockies. Do not bet against them. Gut picks are good for the soul. Spurs plus 11. You like them? I liked it too. I really thought they were going to end that series last night. Okay. Bankroll management. Okay. A lot of good advice. Thanks, Rob, Mike. Yes, sir. All about bankroll management. Yep. What's up, Mike? I'm super late. Hey, the one, it's okay. This will be archived, man. Make sure you go back and watch it. Had Robert Ferringo of Doc Sports on, man. You're going to love what he had to say. Make sure you go back and watch it, the one. You'll like it, bud. Bobby said, can't count on Rockets moving forward. He did say that. He did say that. Yep. There we go. So good stuff, man. Good stuff. We'll see who we have on in the future. We'll have more people on. It won't always be Doc Sports handicappers. Sometimes we may have them. Man, when I was in Sports Talk, I had some big names on there, man. We're talking about Deion Sanders, Chad Ochocinco, Kirby Smart, Bobby Bowden, Mark Rick, Alvin Kamara, Derrick Henry, Reuben Foster, Laramie Tunsil. We've had huge names on when I was in Sports Talk Radio. I still have relationships with all these guys. We may do some sports talk from time to time. You don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have fun, though. I promise you that. Let's see. How soon do you start putting together your NFL package? Anything for early birds? Yeah, we do an early bird special, RDL. We sure do, man. And I don't know when that is, to be quite honest with you. They handle all that in the front office, bud. Man, the Spurs losing tonight by that 11-2. Okay. Are you willing to tell us your crap system? Yeah, man. Yeah, Robert. I'll be glad to tell you my crap system, man. Be glad to. Maybe not tonight because I've already went a long time. I'm a little short-winded right now, but I will, bud. Man, haven't wanted a big week. Nah, you'll be okay, Chris. Hang in there, man. Didn't tell you how sports rigged. No. Sports not rigged. Get Pete Rose on the show. Bobby Bowden is a legend. That's right. I like Rockets to make it to the finals, but not win the championship. Okay. Who you got winning it, Bankroll? Who you like this year, buddy? Well, I gave Minnesota out as a free pick today. They're down 5-2 to Sabathia. Oof. Looks like Boston has stretched it back out. Am I right, guys? I'm seeing 68-57. Is that right? Right now, what'd you say, boy? Yeah. Yeah, we need unknown on there, don't we? Dude, it's fun. Where's he been, man? Anybody seen unknown? Where's he been? All right, man. Hey, y'all put in some requests for people to have on in the future. I'll try to have them on, man. If you want to hear from other handicappers, just let me know. We'll see. We'll see. I like Bobby Fringo, though. I'll tell you that. I like Indian Cowboy, Tony George. All those guys are good. They're good with the media as well. You took the Bucks tonight? Okay. Whoever wins the East, and you think whoever wins the East is winning the championship? Nah, man. I don't think so, bud. Bill Simmons? Nah, man. He ain't my cup of tea. Bill Simmons not my cup of tea. You want to hear from Vernon Croy? Lost it all on tennis. First time listener, you rock hey, Rosa, thank you. You rock, Rosa. Thank you for showing up. Hey, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. I do a free pick video every day. A lot of times a live free pick video as well. What's your premium play on? No, I've got the Braves. I got the Braves, the one that doesn't look good. Does Robert have an all-season NFL pass? Of course he does, Karen. Of course he does. Yep, we all do. Tony George will be I think Tony George will be fun. I think Tony George will be fun. Absolutely. So I think all the guys at Doc Sports would do well, man. I really do. So we'll see. We'll see. A lot of guys already do videos, man. A lot of the guys already do free pick videos, and I think they do well. I think they do a great job. What you riding the bandwagon Philly make to the finals? We'll see, man. We'll see. TG is a man. That's right. Tony Jordan's the she is Ned. Okay, Tyler. I like Tony G, man. Tony G is cool. Tony G is cool. Okay, somebody give me an update. How many points does my boy Giannis have? Is he not getting it done? Chris, I know you know, man. Giannis has, I don't see the points here. Let me see. How many points do you have? Giannis has 12, so he needs 16. He can still get there. It's not over. It's not over. Found Mike a month or so ago. He's an animal and goes live at halftime too, which I personally love. Thanks, man. Mike, thoughts on gambling addiction? It's a real thing. It's a real thing, Chris. You gotta take a long look in the mirror, man. And I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to anybody with a gambling addiction. At some point, you have to take a long look in the mirror and say, you know what? This is hurting me. It's hurting my family. It's hurting the people around me and the people I love. Because you're not showing any discipline if you have a gambling addiction. Gambling is a hard way to make an easy living. A hard way to make an easy living. You got to be smart. You got to be disciplined. You got to have handicapping fundamentals, but you can do it. It's a game. It's a game you play every day. It's a high-risk game at the biggest level because we're putting our real money on the line. And they're trying to beat our tails. We have to beat them, but you have to be smart. If you have that win at all costs mentality, I have to get my money back. You're going broke. Guys, I went broke. I can't tell you how many times I went broke in my early 20s. I can't tell you how many times. It hurt the people around me. It hurt me. It hurt friends, family, everybody I was bumming money off of. I've been there. I've been there, man. At some point, you got to make a change. And when you make that change and you use your brain that God gave you, you'll be fine. And I'm not talking to you, Chris. I'm talking in general. I got you. I got the Braves, too. You got to love McCarthy. Huh? Yeah, I'll tell you what. He pitched good all year, the one, and tonight he just didn't do it. Sixers in a dogfight. I actually have Miami in that game tonight, guys. My premium play in the NBA is Miami Heat plus, what was it, 10? I think it was 10, man. So we'll see. Nah, Sean, we're on the same shows. You see you later on Rage. Here you go. Sixers, here comes the Bucks. Mike, I respect the shit. Hey, I respect you, Chris. Respect you, man. Hey, you ain't if you're struggling right now, man, just take a look in the mirror. Be smart, buddy. You can do it, man. You can do it. That's right, Rosa. You like 1 or 2 bets a day, twin? Okay. I need socks to stay under. And let me explain to you, for those of you who are just showing up, thank you for coming in, by the way, but those of you who are just showing up, Bobby Fringo and I had a great discussion earlier about he's a volume guy. Whereas I may do 1 play a day for 4 units. He may do 7 plays that day, 6 of them for 1 unit, 1 of them for 2 units. Okay, but he's not doing 7 plays at 4 units. He's just a volume guy with lower money on the line. So let's just say a unit is $10. So whereas I'm betting $44 to win 40, he's betting 7 $10 games. So $77. You guys understand where I'm coming from? That's the difference. He's a volume guy, and he does a great job at it. I need socks to say it, but we're basically betting the same amount of money. Is the point I was trying to make there. Okay. Oh yeah, Milwaukee Brewers are up 1, baby. Having a bad week. It happens, Nicholas. Hey, respect you guys, Logic. Respect you, Armand. Yeah, parlays are no good in my opinion. I agree with Good Green there. How did you turn it around, mentor? Robert, I wouldn't say it was a mentor. I would say, I matured and realized that, man, nothing in this life is going to be given to you. If you could win it all in one day, everybody would be rich, right? Because, hey, man, there were days. I mean, I would borrow $50 from somebody. Guess what I would bet that night? You think I'd bet $5 a game? Hell no, I'd bet all $50. There would be times I'd take that $50 and run it up to 1,000. Many times. But guess what I was playing on that night? Guess how much money I had on the line that night? I've taken that $50. It's taken me 1 week. I have $1,000 bankroll. Well, guess how much of that $1,000 I was betting that night? Every damn bit of it. And let me tell you something. If you keep doing that, eventually you're going to lose. And I lost over and over and over again. Finally, I had to look myself in the mirror and say, man, you're stupid. You're so smart, but you're stupid. And so that's what happened. So that's how I turned it around, Robert. I started getting some handicapping principles about me, keeping a spreadsheet, actually treating it as a business rather than this high that I had to have bet on this game. Man, I'd bet on 2 cockroaches running across the floor. You know? So that's a gambling problem, man. That's an addiction. So luckily I don't have cockroaches anymore, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I don't make light of it because it's a serious situation. Yeah, plus 10 for the Heat premium play. That's right, Logic. How are we doing in that game, buddy? How many NFL picks do you pick on a Sunday? Twin, that's tough for me to say. Normally on a weekend of football, I'll do around 5 plays. Okay? Normally on a weekend of football. So maybe there's 2 college plays. If I'm really hot in the NFL, it may only be 1 college play for NFL or vice versa. So try to get rich scheme. Yeah, that's right. Good, Green. That's no good. Mike, I'd like a show on a full breakdown on how you handicap a game one day. Okay. Mike, I have a premium play tonight. San Francisco first 5 innings in the game. Good luck, man. Heat might get blown out. Meek Mill's in the building. There you go. Mike, this Celtics game is the ugliest game I've ever watched. It happens, Chris. It happens. All you can do is put your money in good, what you feel is good, and the players kind of control the rest, right? Armand, you're welcome. Got you the one. Mike, please tell us about those handicapping fundamentals. I've told you about them, man. You've been in a lot of these things when I've told you about them. You know, main thing you got to do is you got to self-evaluate each and every day, man. Each and every day you have to self-evaluate. When you're picking games, at the end of the day, whether they win or lose, you need to keep a spreadsheet on what happened, how much money you made, et cetera, and then you need to go back and look at the game and say, what did I like about them? Do I still like it, or was I just an idiot? And then you got to learn from your mistakes each and every day. Yeah, right now, thank you, man. Right, sir. All right, Armand. Yes, sir, Robert. Yes, sir. You're welcome, man. Cockroach in slot 2. I got the money line on that one. That big fella there, watch him go. You'll bet on how fast paint dry. I hear you, baby. Milwaukee Brewers up 4. Do you like round robin or parlay? Neither, Karen. I don't like either. I don't, man. Bucks can't get back in it. Yeah. I still like him for the series. Still like him for the series. Miami up 1 right now is what I'm seeing. Miami's up 1. So we'll see. Giannis needs a big 4th quarter, man. Giannis needs a big 4th quarter. All right. Anybody else? Anybody else have any more questions, man? You guys want to call it a night, and let's get back tomorrow. Watch out for the Pelicans. We just sitting pretty waiting on Golden State or San. You could have stopped when you said you was waiting on Golden State, Henry. Don't be ridiculous. I hear you, though, baby. I hear you. Hope it's San Antonio, right, Henry? Brewers up 4-0. Okay, good stuff, Robert. Good stuff, man. Everybody good, man? Bucks just can't get back in this game. It's okay, twin. It's okay. They're going to win game 6. There will be a 7th game if Boston wins tonight. Yeah, Rose, I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Armand, or ma'am. I meant to say ma'am. Thank you, Armand. Yeah, great show right now. Thank you guys for coming, man. I really appreciate it. I really do. I want you guys to take advantage of my packages, man. Really starting to see the board well in Major League Baseball. You know how good we've been in the NHL this postseason. NBA, we've been just fantastic all year. And if we weren't, I'd tell you, I was terrible in college basketball this year. I'll just be honest with you. I did not have a winning football season this year. I'm always going to be honest with you. So if I tell you I'm seeing the board well in something, I'm seeing the board well in it. You guys get 25% off. Go get a weekly package. Go get it right now. Email service at Doc Sports. Tell them you want Mike Davis 1 week of the NBA or the rest of the NBA season, 1 week of Major League Baseball. Whatever you want, go get it. 25% off just for you guys showing up tonight. I really appreciate it, man. Mike, what were your premiums tonight? Miami Heat plus the 10 points, and I had the Atlanta Braves. Not good. How many units did you have on Miami? 4 units. Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much. You made the show. All of you folks who tuned in made the show. Smart is back. Bucks don't win another game. Okay, man. Premium member, Logic. You know I love you, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for believing in me. I hope you understand my handicapping principles and the way I look at things, and I hope you follow, man. I hope you become a quasi-millionaire, baby. See you tomorrow. Appreciate the show. Okay, Nicholas. All right, guys. Anybody else? Y'all good? Y'all good? Somebody give me a winner tonight. Who gave me a winner earlier? Somebody said San Francisco first 5 innings. That was you, Bankroll. I'm gonna tell Wade you told me 50%, 25%, man. Get you some. Get you some. Good luck, twin. Good luck, buddy. Thank you, the one. I hope you sign up, man. I hope you guys take advantage of the 25% off for myself or Robert Ferringo. I really do. Good luck tonight, Mike. Yeah, Armand. Good stuff, man. Have a good night, twin. Spurs, you like the Spurs tonight? Good green? Okay. San Francisco, first 5 and the game. Okay. Warriors. I got you, boys. I got you. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. A big special thank you to Bobby Ferringo. Great fella, man. Great fella. Easy win. How are you still feeling about the Bucks winning that? I still like them, Hunter. Still like them. Still like them. But we'll see, man. Yeah, man. Take it easy, Sean. Take it easy, Bankroll. Chris, take it easy, bud. Hey, you okay, man? You okay? Have an honest talk with yourself, my friend. That's all you got to do, bud. You're okay. Don't get down. You can't get like this when you lose, and you damn sure can't get like this when you win. You got to be right in here. We can't win it all today, and we damn sure don't want to lose it all today. Use your brain, man. You're a smart guy. I plan on it, the one. I plan on going live in the morning, man. I plan on it, you know, if as long as, you know, I don't see why I wouldn't. So, yeah, hopefully, man. All right, do it, Bankroll. Do it, man. Good luck, buddy. Good luck, man. I appreciate you. Good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Okay. All right, we'll get out of here, man. Thanks again. Thanks again for all of you who tune in each and every day. And a special thank you to those of you who believe in me and do my premium picks. I think you'll be glad you did. I think some of you are already seeing that. And I really appreciate all of you. Alan Eastman has been around forever, but never hear much from him online. What is his story? I don't know. I don't know much about Alan, Kyle, to be honest with you. I don't, you know, coming into this, I didn't know any. I knew Vernon Croy. Well, I don't know if I knew any of them personally. I've got to know some of the handicappers at Docs, but I certainly read all of the handicappers' work, and I watch them closely, every single one of them, and I respect the hell out of all of them, man. God bless you right now. Have a great night, Nate. Have a profitable night, my friend. Let's get it tonight. Have a good one, Mike. Enjoy the rest of yours. Yes, sir. Let's get it, baby. Can the Bucks come back? What's the score, guys? Can they? 72-60. This ain't over. This ain't over. Don't count your chickens before it hatches, boys. That's old redneck saying. I'm sure you guys have heard it. It ain't over. 72-66. It ain't over. It ain't over. All right. Y'all, hey, y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good one. Seriously. Thank y'all. I'll see. Oh, yeah. Most of us live in different states. Yep. We sure do. See you guys in the morning. Thank you for everything. Thanks all of you for everything. It's over, Mike. Nate, you're a homer. You're a homer, Nate. I know what you are, man. You're a homer. I know you told me already, man. I know you told me. I know. I get it. If the Bucks win tonight, are you going to eat your words in the morning on the video? If the Bucks win tonight, I'm coming back live tonight. You better be ready. If the Bucks come back and win, I will be on here live when the game's over. You hear me, Nate? Just for you. Hey, good luck. Good luck, everybody. I'll see you in the morning. All right. See you, folks. Thanks, all of y'all. If they win, I'm coming back live. See y'all. You know, I hear you, baby. They won't. You never know. We'll see. We'll see. Enjoy it.